I'm Sarah Webb. Welcome to Quantum Healing with the Angels, the podcast. There may be times in our lives when we feel like we are facing insurmountable odds, when everything feels like it is going wrong, when we don't know how we're going to make it through. The challenges feel too difficult, and we feel discouraged and hopeless. So during those times, how do we make it through? This channeling from Archangel Metatron gives a unique perspective about doing spiritual things when you're feeling hopeless. You'll hear him talk about the human spirit and soul and about making it through the discouragement until you reach the light, or as Travis's higher self likes to say, the sunshine. I hope you enjoy this channeling with Archangel Metatron.
The state of this planet has been in turmoil because they are trying to make you feel hopeless. But we have put pieces in place for you to overcome that. You will work together and you will succeed. And you will put things together to help you be prepared for the harder things that are supposed to come. You will have everything you need. So I've been trying to ask you guys, and I'm trying to be mean and nothing. I'm just tired of all of the crap. Yes, but you did what you needed to do. And now you have done it. Now you are ready. You did not give up. You did what you needed to do. Now you are going to join forces. Yes, you're going to join forces because you said you wanted to be noticed. You did what you needed to do, and you were noticed. Correct? Yeah, but there are no buts. You have done it. Yes. You have been doing a good job taking care of everything. You've been taking care of your pets, and they're letting you know that they appreciate it. They are happy that everything is going the way it's supposed to go. And they are telling you that.
Coconut is walking around. He's excited.
Yes, they are very happy. There are some things coming up that are going to be very good, and you are prepared for it. This is what you have been wanting and waiting for. You may speak. So nice to be here again.
Oh,
It's been here.
Are you here?
Yes, I am here.
You can hear me. Oh, is this Larry?
Yes, this is Larry.
How are you, Larry?
God as always. It has been a while.
It has. I've missed you.
Just letting him sort out his... Once he was wanting to figure things out.
Yeah.
He was slipping back into anger.
Oh,
he was
yes,
angry because the things was not going the way he wanted them to. But we were always working on it. We told him it would take a while. But now it is going the way it was all planned.
So it was always planned this way.
Yes, it was always planned.
Hmm. So when we were doing the other things to make this happen, going in other directions, was it just important to keep trying?
It was important to go in all directions.
All
Because the more
directions.
direction you go into, the more chances you have positive results. You are wanting to be seen, and you have been seen.
That is true.
And the person that you were seen by was looking for someone like you.
So does that mean you have been working with that person's team also?
Yes, that person was looking for someone as well.
That's so interesting.
We didn't necessarily help that happen. It's just your past intersected
Oh,
using your technology. You did what you needed to do, and you were seen. Luckily, the person you were seen by has just as much light as you.
that is comforting.
We don't necessarily say we can tell the future. We don't like to say that, which in some ways we do. The reason why we don't say we can tell the future is because the people on your planet will take too much account in just that area. We don't want them to think the future can be told because it sounds too much like a certain kind of religion. We want people to concentrate on the light. If you concentrate on a light, which you have been doing constantly, then good things will happen. You will bring in other light. Think about it. Light is what you call on your planet from your sun, sunlight.
Yes. Sunlight.
I guess your question, has sunlight came your way?
Are you asking me that?
Sunlight came your way? Think about it very hard. What is the business you do?
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
Oh my gosh. Oh my
light
gosh.
has come
Holy
your
crap.
way. It is light. Yes,
Oh,
and that sunlight,
that's
you will join forces with the sunlight and you will be happy.
wow. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so glad. I was very tired.
We knew you were feeling a lot of stress,
Yes.
but you have been doing everything correctly the whole time.
Okay. Good.
You do everything correctly all the time, and the negative energy will still try to do things to knock you off, but you have been fighting back. Everything will clear. You will be in good hands. Your hands will clear.
Oh,
Your health has always been good. But they try to put things in your head to make you think you are not doing very good. You've been doing good the whole time. You have been doing everything correctly. Yes, they will always do little things to you to make you think you're not doing everything right. But you are. Everything you thought you were doing wrong, you are doing correct.
Food-wise?
Yes, that's what I was saying. Because you have been eating everything you were told to do and you kept on that. One thing that we know that you thought you were doing wrong is not correct. Metatron would like to take.
Okay.
The food you are eating is the correct food. The thing that we told you about the salt. The salt is a crystal, but the human body needs salt. The human body needs salt. That's why you've been eating so much of it, because your body needed it.
Really?
Eventually, you won't need it anymore. You may feel that you are kind of getting tired of eating salt. That is because you have eaten the amount that your body needed.
Oh.
The human body needs salt. And the reason why you think you're getting hit with negative energies a little bit is because you was eating a lot of salt. That is true, but you fought back. You have been fighting back. And like this human body's higher self said, you attracted the sunshine.
No, that is too much.
You have done everything you needed to do to attract the sunshine. Sunshine needs you, and you need the sunshine. You work together, and you will be unstoppable.
Oh, that is exciting. That is exciting.
You will work together. Together being the main word.
Yeah.
You both have things that will help each other.
Okay.
So don't worry anymore about it.
Okay. Thank you.
You have been doing very well giving people a message about food. And we really love what you are doing. The aloe plant is the perfect plant. Place some aloe everywhere on your body that is needed. The aloe will put you in good hands.
Should you eat the aloe or not?
Aloe is safe to eat, but not in large quantity.
Yes.
Just a little bit at a time.
Okay.
What we mean by a little bit is a thing you call on your planet. The way you would say it is half of what you call a teaspoon or less.
Oh,
little
tiny. Okay.
Because it will go through your body.
Yes, I read about that.
You can put it on your hands. It heals cuts. It heals bruises.
Wow.
It will clear up anything on your body.
I have a roughness on my skin.
It will clear that up.
Okay. Thank you.
The message we want to keep giving everyone is to prevail. Stay on the light and prevail. You have great minds. You can find your way out of problems. We want you to stay away from so-called religious things, because the thing you call religion on any place or any planet, which there are different kinds of religions on different planets, and your planet is taught to keep people down. People on your planet are always in the negative. They always think of what you call evil. That is your word. But there is no such thing as evil. There is no such thing as evil. There are a lot of people on your planet that see things they can't understand because they don't understand how those beings act. So if they think they are being mean to them, they will say he was evil.
Mm-hmm.
Evil is a religious word. That's why people on your planet make up words for things. When you talked to us last, you asked us questions about things on your planet that people say. Like before, you said someone said something about a soul trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Souls are never trapped. Souls are always free. Your spirit is free. Your spirit is what goes here to the light. Your soul is in your body. Your spirit is assisted by your higher self. Your soul is basically your personality. So your soul is what makes you. Your soul and your spirit work together. Your spirit is you totally. Your soul is just part of you that makes you you. Which is why on your planet, the religions messed with people's minds. They made movies about it. They made stories about it. A thing you call a devil. They say the devil can steal your soul. Most people think the spirit and the soul is the same thing. No, the spirit is you. Totally. The light you. Your soul is your personality. The whole thing you call possession on your planet, it's really not. It's just a negative energy that gets into your body and makes you do as what you call crazy things. It can make your body do crazy things. Your religion has everyone confused. They would even say what you're doing now is evil.
Oh, yes.
They would even say the angels or your higher self speaking through you is possession. That's because the religions put that in people's heads because they did what you call films, movies about people being possessed and people talking. But they don't understand is that those are negative energies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And negative energies are not beings, it's just energy. See, everything is energy. We archangels are energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you could call us positive energy. So there's positive energy and negative energy. The only thing about negative energies is they are just energy. They can still do what we do. They can go into people and speak as well. And I know it confuses people
Yeah.
because the negative energies
It is
can
confusing.
almost do the same thing as we do, the archangels.
But you don't call that possession.
No, that is a negative word that was created for the people on your planet to keep them in fear. They control people by fear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if that was the case, then what is happening now would be possession. With me speaking through this being. It is not possession. Possession is a negative word. We do not possess anyone. Everyone has their own free will.
Mm-hmm.
We do not possess them.
So the people that have the negative energy that is speaking through them, they're allowing that to happen.
Yes, they don't realize it, but they are inviting them in.
Because of their fear?
Yes, it's
Okay.
because of the fear.
Wow.
It usually doesn't happen to anyone that doesn't know anything about religion. If someone was brought up and they were taught nothing about religion, they will never even feel any negative energy. Most of the time they don't.
Really? That's interesting.
They're usually always happy, and they usually succeed in life faster than anyone else.
Because they're not thinking about those things?
Right. Because if they encounter a mean person, they see that as just a mean person. They do not even know what you call evil is.
Mm-hmm.
Those people also will be able to see other beings and not what you call get scared. They will be able to talk to another being with no problem. They will not be afraid. They will be a little afraid if they've never seen it, but they wouldn't call it evil. They would be like, oh wow, I just seen another being.
Yeah.
And they might try to talk to them, they might not. They will still have a little fear because they are human.
Right.
But they wouldn't have that religious aspect in their minds because they never heard it before.
Right.
There are some people on your planet who don't even know what you call the devil is because they weren't raised in religion. So they are very, very brave people because they weren't brought up to be afraid.
It makes sense that things might be a little easier for them.
Yes. And those are the ultimate light workers. But the ones that are also ultimate light workers when they work with them are the ones that were able to overcome the religion and think for themselves. Those are also ultimate light, which are people like you. You were brought up in religion and you finally figured out that it was all it's all control.
Yeah. I figured out that was false, but I always knew that there was light.
Yes.
I didn't know what to call it.
You are on another level now. You know, you've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like years, does it?
No, it does not.
Time
Oh, yes, time
is changing.
What is going on with the time?
It seems like it's going faster, correct?
Yes. But everyone is saying that and feeling tired.
Yes. Because your planet has been built on time. In actuality, everything is speeding up.
Really? So
they are trying, and what I mean by they is the people that try to control your planet. They know that the time is speeding up as well, but they're trying to keep it to make it look like everything is the same. Eventually, they will not be able to control it anymore. And that frightens them because then they will have to try to explain things or they will try to work around it.
So they're not speeding up the time?
Earthly beings don't have the power to do anything with time.
There is some kind of rumor that our time is being stolen.
I guess in a sense you can see it that way. They are trying to control the time lines to keep everything in secret. Okay. They're trying very hard to keep everything hidden from everyone.
Yeah.
There are many beings on your planet and people have seen them, And they keep trying to hide. Eventually, they will not be able to hide them because they can only control so much on your planet.
So what are they doing to the time?
They have the technology that can wipe people's memories.
Okay.
So something big can happen. They can't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And wipe people's memory.
Okay.
Eventually, they will not be able to do that anymore because we are working on things where everyone will see it at once.
Okay.
And we will not let them do that anymore. Where everyone can see the truth.
So is that what's happening? There are things happening and then they wipe our memories. And it seems like the day is shorter because our memory was wiped.
Yes.
Okay.
It is intersecting with what you call your time. That's why it seems like the time is speeding up.
Okay.
They try to keep your years intact because they know everyone is on a time track. You go by years. Which in reality, your year, what you call your year now, it is actually further in time of what year that you have recorded.
Really?
But they want to keep everyone subdued and think they cannot do anything. They want to keep you in your little slavery ways. Eventually, that will not happen anymore. And everyone will be happy because everyone is tired of what you say working for nothing. They want to be happy all the time, and it's going to be happy all the time. Something is going to happen where it looks like everything is falling apart. Well, it would not last. Can't tell you when that is going to happen because that is not what we do. But we can tell you it's going to happen.
Where it looks like everything is falling apart.
Everything will look like it is falling apart. Everything will be what you call terrible. But it will not last long because that is meant to happen so everyone can rebuild.
Right.
And we have to do it that way because the way they are controlling your planet. They are fighting so hard to keep everyone in slavery so they can work for your what you call currency, which is terrible for anyone because currency is a form of slavery. Everyone should have the same thing. It sounds bad to most people. There are places on your planet where you call communism. Those communisms were trying to do things that way. They give everyone the same thing. And people in your country call them communists. Which in ways, that is the best way to do things, but no one should be in control. The only thing about the communism that is not right is they have one person that is in control of it all. That is not the way it's supposed to be. Everyone should have the same thing, but no one needs to be in charge. See, that's how you live on a free society. Everyone can have the same thing, but nobody should be in charge. Everyone should work together to have the same thing. There doesn't need to be a leader for everything. That is a problem with the societies on your planet. They think everyone should have a leader. They should have a rank. Rankings is a negative thing. And that confuses people as well. Because they talk to us and say, well, Source is over everything. Which is true. But Source does not like to be worshipped. Source wants everyone to be in the light. And that is it. We do not worship Source. We are part of Source. We, what you call the archangels, are part of Source. We do not worship Source. Nobody should worship Source because they're all part of Source. And that is hard for people on your planet to understand because they were born and raised in a ranking society. Someone has to be in charge. That is not true. Everyone's supposed to work together. No one is what you call the boss. No one should be the boss. Everyone should work together. And that is one thing that is very hard for people on your planet to understand because they were raised that way. Because your parents raised you. So you see your parents kind of as your boss. And that is not the way you're supposed to be. Yes, your parent teaches you things, but they also supposed to teach you to be self-sufficient, where you don't have to ask your parents for everything. Your parents would teach you something. Yes, it might take you a long time to learn it, but once you learn it, you already know it. Then you don't need your parent anymore because you already know how to do it. Then you're supposed to work together with the parent. But that is not the way your society is raised. Your society has raised you to think your parent is always the boss. Regardless, that is not the way it's supposed to be. When you have a family, other beings' families, let me put it this way, the thing on your planet is hard to catch. The big hairy beings that you call.
Oh, yes.
They work together. They don't have a boss. Is what I guess what you call a Bigfoot. They work together. They don't have a boss, Bigfoot, or the other thing you call it, Sasquatch. They all work together. They do not have a boss being. They all work together. Humans on your planet really do not work together. They're kind of like another being on your planet, what you call ants. They work together, but they have a boss, which you call a queen ant. They work for the queen ant. Yes, it's very efficient. And they all work together. They have a hive mind and they work together. But they have a queen ant. So they so-called work together, but they're basically like the humans. They have to have a boss. It is not a terrible way to live, but that is not the way you're supposed to live. They created that way. Source created those beings that way to help with your ecosystem.
Oh, yeah. The ants.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the way they were created. But it's not necessarily a bad thing for them. But the people on your planet, the humans, are smarter in a different way. They have the will and mind to know better. See, you have the potential to change everything. If you work together and not worry about having a boss, then that's what you need. But some beings on your planet don't like that. They like control. They want people to have a boss. It's a form of slavery.
Doesn't it say, I was thinking, doesn't it say in the Bible to honor your father and mother?
Yes, that's what it says.
Is that what it says? Yeah.
And everyone takes it the wrong way. It really shouldn't even been written that way. It should have been written simply. It should have said, work together with your mother and father. But no, they want everything to be form of slavery. So they say, honor your mother. That's why the things about kings and queens popped up on your planet and other planets. Other planets have kings and queens as well. They have that same concept. So it's not just on your planet to have these rules. Kings and queens, what you call the monarchy on your planet. You should not worship anyone like that. They are not better than you, but your planet made them look like they're better than you, and they think they are better than you because they were raised that way. So it's not necessarily their fault that they're that way. They were just raised that way, and they think that's the way things should be done.
I was just thinking, so many people ask, how do I talk to the angels? How do I talk to my higher self? Because they feel like they need to kind of worship you, I think.
Yes, and that is not the way it is done. We are not better than you. We say that all the time. We are like you. When you leave your vessel, you come back here and we're all the same. The word you call archangel is a label. Once you leave your so-called body and come here, you are just like me. You could be an archangel, so-called archangel, and help people if you want. Or you can just hang out in the light like everyone else.
We can be an archangel.
Anyone can be an archangel.
Okay.
Like I said, people on your planet like to put labels on things and think there's only like 3 or 4 of us. The reason why I can be in many places at once is because I am not one archangel.
Well, aren't we the same way?
Everyone is the same. When you leave your body and come here, you can choose to be an archangel. But you won't have your own name unless you want your own name. So, so-called Archangel Metatron is a name I was given, but I am not in one place at one time. I am everywhere. And it was what you call fractals. So if you pass away and you come here and say you want to be an archangel, you could be me as well, because we all know the same thing. There are different archangels for different things because it helps people on your planet associate different things when we're all the same. I could be any archangel. I can come in as Uriel. I can come in as Raphael because those are the ones you recognize. We may sound different, but we are all the same beings. We are not different because everyone on your planet like to put people in boxes. I am talking now, Metatron. So if I am talking and you said, okay, I want to speak to Uriel, I necessarily do not leave. I just change into what you asked for.
Is this because we're all part of Source?
Yes, it's because we're all part of Source.
Yes, it's so hard to take into our minds.
Exactly, because you like to put things in boxes.
Yeah.
You like to have choices because you were raised that way.
Yeah.
It's hard for your brain to fathom that all of the archangels could be just one person.
Right.
Switching and can be in many places at once.
Or that we can have several parts of us at different timelines or fractals or whatever you want to.
Yes. The only thing that is different is your so-called higher self. Your higher self is kind of hard to explain, is also you. Your higher self is a part of Source as well, but they do have little fragments. And the reason why we can't explain, because there is no way you will be able to understand. We will not even try to explain it to you because it will just take forever and you will never understand it. The only time you understand it is when you come here.
The fragments? Is that what you meant?
Yes, okay. Your higher self is different than us because it is you. Even though you are part of Source and all the angels are part of Source. Your higher self is a little different.
Okay. It's just too confusing to explain.
There is no way you would understand. Even the smartest person on your planet would not understand it. Wow. So we don't even bother to explain to you why that is. One reason why is because you really do not need to know that. See, people on your planet are very curious and think they need to know everything. And we are not going to tell you everything because you would not be able to understand it. That's just facts.
Yeah.
There is no way. And some people on your planet want to know everything so they can so-called be in control and think they're better than someone else. That's another reason why we don't tell everything.
Because people would say, oh, I know much more than you.
Yes, and there are other people that will feel down on themselves because they can't do what a certain person does. They put themselves down. That's another reason why, about these sessions, everyone thinks they should be like someone else. Everyone is not the same.
There are people who are worried because they don't react in a certain way. They think they're less than because maybe they don't. I've just noticed that lately, that there are people that feel bad about themselves.
That is the important thing about these sessions that you do, is because everyone thinks they should be able to do what one person does. That is one limited thing about people on your planet. They believe what they want to believe. Okay, if you believe your religion and that's so easy, why is it so hard for you to be able to speak to your higher self? The reason why is because your religion didn't teach you to be able to do that. And then when you see it, you think you are so-called possessed and it scares them. That's why they can't do it. Everyone should be able to speak to their higher selves, or even us, in this manner, but they're so brainwashed with religion, they can't do it because they think they're talking to themselves and making things up. It will come out and it's like, well, why do I feel like I'm still awake? The person that I'm speaking through now, he's sitting to the side, but he's in his body. But things are just coming out of his mouth, which is us, and he never thought that he was making it up. That's why it's easy for us to speak through him, because he doesn't think he's making it up. If you're speaking and you think you're making it up, then you will never be able to feel the light like you're supposed to, because you are never making anything up. Whatever pops up into your head is exactly what's going on, except for the negative things. The negative things, if you see negative things all the time, that is a negative energy coming through you. So you are seeing negative stuff, but it's only because the negative energy is putting it in your head. So even when they so-called negative stuff they see is coming out is not negative, is what the negative energy is putting in their head to make them think they're negative. So it should be easy for them to see anything positive as well. Most people see negative things because they're going through negative things in their life, which makes it easier for the negative energies to put negative things in their head. So it's best to do these kind of sessions with someone who knows how to put you in a good place first. You cannot do these sessions when you're thinking negative, because negative things will come out.
Oh, yes. Well, yes, there was someone who needed a session, and somebody asked if there was anyone who could do a session for this person. But they have a belief that somebody cursed them a couple of years ago, and that's why they're sick. And so I don't know how to work with that. Someone who has that belief system already.
Curses, what you call implanted, are not real. You just believe in what the person. Someone on your planet can literally say they put a curse on you, and if you believe it, then that's what's going to happen. If you don't believe it, then nothing will happen. See, people have more power than they think they have. So if you have the power to put something negative on anybody, why not just use your power to think positive all the time? The reason why is your planet has so much negative energy in it. They think people that think positive all the time is crazy. They think everything about light is crazy or evil or people being possessed, because they're talking about like this, like that. People on your planet have been programmed to think negative all the time, and until they want to think positive. They only see negative things all the time. That's the bad thing about planet Earth, is they have ingrained so many negative things in people's minds with war and fear and It's easier to think those things because it's easy to make your mind and your soul lazy and just follow. If someone you call in charge tells you something, it's easy just to follow and do what they say. It is kind of a lazy way of living. What you are doing now is far from lazy because you get ridiculed because they say you're being possessed or what you're doing is not real because it is not negative. If you preach everything about crazy things, about evil stuff all the time, or other beings coming to your planet destroying you, people will eat that up because it is easy to be afraid.
Oh, they love that.
But you speak things about light and being good all the time, then you are crazy.
Yeah.
It is best to work with people when they're in the light. If they're already in the negative, you have to speak with them a long time to get them in the positive before you can get them into a so-called you call session because you can't take them under with negative energy or they're going to see negative. And it's hard to get them out of the negative because you want to help them, but you don't want to coax them into the light. If someone's thinking negative, you have to keep asking them what they see. If they keep seeing negative, but you cannot give them anything.
No, you can't make them.
If someone sees something negative and you're talking to them, you can't say anything like, do you not see any light there? Because you're implementing it for them.
Right.
Yes, you are helping them, but they have to find it on their own.
Right.
You cannot say that.
Yeah.
You have to let them find the light on their own, which is why you cannot go do a session with anyone that's already in negative because it will not work. Right. Some people try to trick you and act like they were in the light. But once you put them under, or they act like they can't go under, and we know you do a thing where you have surrogates that can help them. And then a surrogate will say something to them and they still won't believe it, which is a waste of your time. So some people try to trick you and think they're in the light just to see what the other person will say. They will say, I need a surrogate because I can't go under. Surrogate sessions, what you call, help sometimes, but it's probably not good to do that. They have to do it on their own. They have to do it on their own. Surrogate sessions only help a little because they'll hear it, and most of the time they still won't believe it. They have to do it for themselves. If they can't do it for themselves, then it will not help them too much, honestly.
I was even wondering how other people who do that, if they actually have the same thing happen where the people get the information, but they still don't believe it.
Yes, and that happens a lot.
It does, okay.
It's best just to find people that are already in.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is to just listen to them, and if you feel they are ready, then you will do it.
Oh, yes. I wanted to ask you something about people who do soul retrieval. Do you have time to answer that? If that is real?
That is nothing. The soul is never lost.
Okay.
Where did that come from?
I do not know. I think it sounds funny.
That's because that is not real.
Okay.
Soul retrieval? The soul is never lost.
That's what I thought.
And does that even sound positive?
No.
That's because it's not positive. Things that are not positive are not real. You cannot think that way. If someone even gives you anything that sounds negative, it is not real. Because negative energies do things that make things seem like it's real, but it's not. People should be living in the light all the time. Just because you see something negative, that don't mean that it's real. If you make it real, then you're contributing to the negative energy. Because it should not be here. Nothing negative should come up in any light conversations because negative should not be there. If someone comes up to you and say soul trap, then someone else can make up another one and say spirit trap. Oh, look, there's something new. No. If someone says, well, I'm trying to go to light, but I keep going this way. Well, don't go that way.
Yeah.
Just the same thing when you go to a doctor. It hurts when my arm does this. Well, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So once you hear someone mention anything about anything negative, it is wrong. People just make up words to have some kind of brand they can use to make themselves look good.
Yeah.
They just come up with crazy words to scare people.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you find it harder to find people to talk to us, the archangels, because they're always scared.
Do people ever not come to the light because of that thing?
No, when you die, you always come to the light because there is no such thing as what you call a hell. It doesn't exist. There shouldn't be anything negative even associated with what we do. If you think of anything negative, then you're not working in the light. That's just the way it is. We don't teach anything like that. Nothing.
So the things happening on our planet that we consider to be negative, should we just not talk about those things?
You can talk about the things, but the things about it is you can't make them a reality. If someone says a soul trap, you have to tell them the soul traps are not real. They're not real.
And this is because we are creators, right? So we can create that in our minds. We can create negative things. We've forgotten that we do that we can do that.
Right. Yeah. And that's what people on your planet always do. They're like, okay, if this is positive, it got to be a negative. You can't do that. That has nothing to do with the light. So to bring people into light, it needs to be a positive message. It has to be positive all the time. If someone says, well, I'm trying to go to light, but I keep going this way. Well, don't go that way. So once you hear someone mention anything about anything negative, it is wrong. There is nothing negative that has to do with the light. You should never talk about anything negative when you're talking about light. If someone comes for your help and they keep saying, I see evil things, what is evil? Why are you always seeing negative things? Is it hard for you to see good things? Well, you're going to have to work on that or I can't help you. You don't live with those people, so you can't help them see the light. They have to see it on their own. There's literally nothing you can do with anyone that is seeing anything negative. If someone's having problems in their life and they come for your help, honestly, there is nothing you can do because you do not live with them, so you can't help them. Mm-hmm. You can give them advice to help with things in their lives, to help them. You can do that. But as far as them seeing anything, there's nothing you can do because they're already seeing negative, and they will not be able to see us or talk to us if they're in the negative. Because it's easier for them to believe in the negative because it's actually happening to them in their time. If someone is being abused, they are not going to see the light because they're hurting too bad. Yeah. They have to get that fixed first. Because you can't tell them, well, you have to believe in the light because they think you're crazy. I'm getting beat by this person. You telling me I have to see light? How is that supposed to happen? There is nothing you can do. You can only assist people that are already in the light. Yeah. You cannot help people that are not in the light because that is not your job. It is their job to fix themselves first before they can speak what they see in the light. That's why they call you light workers. Light workers assist people in helping them see what they see in the light. Light workers are not there to help people that are not in the light. You do not have that kind of power. They have to find that on their own. Yeah. I can't make them see it for themselves. They have to decide. They have to decide. That is the message that I'm giving to you. Because people have to already be in the light to see the light. They cannot be having problems in their lives and come to you and expect you to show them the light. You will not be able to do that. You won't. Because they're too caught up in the negative. They have to be in a positive light before they can even speak to you. Because if you're in a bad mood, if they're in a bad mood, and you talk to someone that's already in the light, someone in the light going to tell you to think about good things, and they are not going to be able to do that. Yes, that's true. Because they're programmed to get through bad things in a certain way. And the only time they're going to feel good about anything is when good things are happening to them. If nothing good is happening to them, then they're not going to be able to do it. See, this session is very important because the person that I'm speaking through right now, which you know, hasn't done this in a long time because he has been fighting that.
Yes, I know.
Going through negative things. He knows what he's supposed to do. So he was fighting through those negative things. But it was hard for him to be in the light because he kept getting hit with negative things. So he had to fight through those negative things. And now everything is turning around. The light is coming back into his body. He is fully engulfed in the light. So it's easier for us to come through and speak to him. He cannot do it unless he invites us in. And he wasn't willing to invite us in for a long time because of what he is going through. So he is in a happier mood. So that's when we said, okay, now it's time for us to talk to him to see if we can come through. And it is happening.
And did I hear you last night correctly? It sounded like he said, invite us in.
Yes, but he wasn't ready last night. But tonight was the night. It is time. That is a message for humanity. If you want to speak with us, try to go into the light and stay in the light. And we will speak with you, even for a short time. We will speak with you. And if you slip back into the negative, that is your prerogative, but you can get out of it. But you cannot speak to us if you're in a negative mode. You cannot. It will not happen. Everyone must be in a positive note to be able to speak with us. Because then you will trust what you are saying is real and you won't think you are making things up. That is the message.
Thank you very much.
And we must retire.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to Quantum Healing with the Angels. We hope you enjoyed the channeling with Archangel Metatron. It is one that really applies to our life and was helpful for us. And I hope that it has helped you as well. We appreciate you being here and look forward to another podcast very soon with our very first guest. All right. Happy Monday to everyone and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Quantum Healing with the Angels. This podcast is sponsored by Sarah Webb Beyond Quantum Healing. Contact Sarah today for your free consultation and mention this ad for 10% off your Quantum Healing or Quantum Connect session.